It's the 3 on PLAXtv.
Yeah, I think that might work. Yeah. What's good, y'all? It's your boy PLAX, and I am back with another episode of The 3 on PLAXtv. And in this episode, I am talking about the top 3 trade destinations for Damian Lillard that aren't the Miami Heat, because it's looking like he may not be going to Miami. He may even be staying in Portland, which would be unfortunate. But let's get into it. I just like to give a shout out to my boy Smooth, my boy Mike Inge, my boy Angel. I've known him for a very long time. He is the one who gave me this idea for this week. But let's get into it. At number 3, the third best trade destination, I think, for Damian Lillard, and, you know, kind of for, this is more so fit for Dame and not so much best trade package for Portland. But I am going to talk about trade packages and, you know, the possibility of Portland taking certain things for Dame. The Brooklyn Nets, my guys. First off, I would love for Dame to go to Brooklyn. That would be great. I think, you know, the combination of Dame, Bridges, Claxton, and then Cam Johnson, and hopefully if we could keep Cam Thomas, like just those 5-6 guys together, I think would definitely make us a top 5 or 6 team. Because not only, you know, would we be effective on offense, because we got Damian Lillard, one of the greatest shooters of all time. We got Mikal Bridges, a guy that has elevated into an all-star level guy. We got Cam Johnson, who's basically Mikal Bridges light to me. And Cam Thomas, if unleashed, is a very good scorer, like a Lou Will, Jamal Crawford type of scorer that could come off the bench or start. But we're also good on defense at that point, because we would have Claxton, who has become a very great rebounder and a great rim protector. We will have Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson, who are lockdown defenders on the wing. And, you know, even though Dame and Cam Thomas aren't necessarily defenders, you could even say don't defend at all, really, they could be hidden with those guys with them. You see what I'm saying? And not even mentioning like some of the guys that we may be able to keep on the bench. So I got the trade here. I did a little, like, I looked it up on like Trade Finder on ESPN, and I believe this would go through. Now, to make the money work, Ben Simmons, right? Do I think Portland would take Ben Simmons? Probably not. So this trade is probably like, wouldn't happen. This is probably the most least likely trade on this list that I made. It would be Ben Simmons, Royce O'Neal, who's really good. He's very efficient from 3 and from the field and from free throw. I think he shot the best free throw percentage last year in the league. So Ben Simmons, Royce O'Neal, 3 or 4 first round picks and 2 or 3 second round picks, because again, taking on Ben Simmons, unless he comes out and plays like Ben Simmons of old, because I've heard a lot of people saying he's back and all this shit. And I hope that's true. I really do. As a Nets fan, I hope that's true. But I can't really buy into that, because we've heard that before from him, from his team and stuff like that. So assuming that he doesn't, and that he comes back and he's playing the same way he's been playing or not playing or whatever the case may be, Portland's probably not going to want Ben Simmons. But this is the only way that the trade will work out money-wise, and Portland doesn't just completely get fleeced, but the Nets still can keep their core team together and make a run, right? Do I think this Nets team with Dame, with the lineup of Dame, Bridges, the Cam squared, and Claxton, do I think that's a championship team? Realistically, probably not. I would hope, but realistically, probably not. But I do think they can make a real run, and I think they can give a lot of teams issues. And who knows, if they get hot at the right time, maybe they can sneak in there, because nobody thought Miami would, you know, make it to the finals, but they got hot at the right time. You know what I'm saying? I was one of those people. I didn't even think they was going to make it out to play-in. I don't think if you watch those videos that I did, I don't think I had them coming out to playing. And if they did, I had them getting swept or losing in 5 in the first round, and they made it to the finals. So hopefully a Nets team constructed like that could make something happen and maybe surprise some people. That's just me wishful thinking. But yeah, the problem with this trade would definitely be Portland taking on Ben Simmons. I don't think Portland or anybody will be willing to do that unless Ben Simmons comes out playing like people expect him to. Like people not expect. Like people thought he should be playing, or how he was playing. At the very least, how he was playing when he first got to Philly, like those first couple of years. Speaking of Philly, the second team that I have on here is Philly. Now, if you guys, I don't know if you guys seen my previous video, or I don't know if it's out now or if it's coming out after this, but I did a video about James Harden being the worst, and I talked about Philly and how James Harden made comments about Daryl Morey, which basically implied he didn't want to be in Philly anymore. So I think that basically Harden and Dame straight up, or at the very least Philly give a couple picks to Portland, because Portland might not want Harden, because they would have a lot of young guys. So, Scoot, Harden, and then they still got Shaden Sharp, and they got Anthony Simons. They got a lot of guards there. So adding Harden, unless you want to move him to the 3, but even then Harden ain't like a defender or nothing like that. So do you really want to move him to the 3? Is that good for your young guys? Because is he gonna be really like teaching? I don't think Harden is a teacher or a good locker room guy. You see what I'm saying? To like elevate the young guys that you have. So you could maybe try to get Harden, maybe try to buy him out, or do like a sign and trade type of thing. But even that is like sketchy. I don't necessarily think Portland would necessarily do that. But if they were desperate and just really wanted to get off of Dame, or if Dame was decided to sit out or something crazy like that, I think Dame for Harden, or Dame for Harden and some picks straight up would be a decent case scenario, especially for Dame. Not so much for Portland, but it's for Dame specifically, because Dame and Embiid together, it would be slightly different from Harden and Embiid, but it would just be just as nasty, because who are you checking? You can't double either of them now, because like you're leaving somebody open, or you're leaving one of them on single coverage, and you don't want to do that. Dame, I could say not in some cases, Dame is a better shooter than Harden is, so he's stretching the floor way out. Like he's logo Lillard. Like he's stretching the floor way out, which frees up Embiid down low. So now the floor is just wide the fuck open. And that can make it easier for guys like Maxey and Tobias Harris to get going, because the floor is wide the fuck open with those two guys. It would become an issue a little bit, because Dame, just like Harden, isn't a defender, so that might be a little tough. They would lack on perimeter defense, because who do they have? Like Dame isn't a defender. Tyrese Maxey isn't a defender. Tobias Harris isn't a defender like that. He's decent, but he's not great. Embiid defends down low, but like he's not defending the perimeter. And then who else? Like who else do you have? I think they have PJ Tucker still. They might have PJ Tucker. That if they have PJ Tucker, that helps. But again, like I said in a previous video, just having one and a half guys playing defense, maybe 2, it's just not good enough. You know what I'm saying? But they did have that same issue when they had Harden, and they did okay. But I don't know if that translates into a championship. That might be a problem with the Philly thing. But offensively, Dame and Embiid would be impossible to guard with Maxey and Tobias Harris, and then whoever else you have out there. As long as you got another shooter out there, it's gonna be really tough to guard that. Very tough to guard that. And I think they would have a good chance to make a run. They would honestly just have to like figure out a way to get better defensively or lock in defensively, and they would have a serious chance. I definitely, especially in the regular season, they would have a chance to be a top 3 team in the league, barring any injuries or anything like that. And at number one, for trade destinations for Damian Lillard, I have the LA Clippers. Now, healthy, Dame, PG, and Kawhi, with Russell Westbrook coming off the bench, because Russ played amazing in the playoffs for the Clippers, would be impeccable. Healthy, of course. Because, Russ obviously isn't the same, but he can produce, and he proved that when he went to the Clippers. Like, he could produce, he could give teams good minutes. The Lakers just wasn't a good fit for him. The Clippers is just a better fit for him. And then him running the second unit, amazing, right? PG and Kawhi, if they can stay healthy, are a top 3 duo in the league, just regardless, because they're going to score, they're going to play defense, they go make plays for each other and other people. That's just what it is. And then adding Dame and another elite level scorer, you won't be able to stop them offensively, because they're gonna get what they want, because they got Kawhi Leonard out there, they got Paul George out there, and they got Damian Lillard out there. They're gonna be able to get what they want. And then defensively, they're not lacking. And that's why I think this is the best option for Dame specifically, because his lack of defense is hidden, right? He doesn't have to be a defender. He doesn't really have to defend, because he has 2 dogs and Kawhi and PG behind him that are gonna get stops. And then they got Ivica Zubac in the paint. He's not an elite rim protector, but he's a very good rim protector. And they will lose a lot in this trade package that I have. But if you could just find some guys that are like 3-and-D guys to fill in those empty spots, I think this team could be very dangerous. In the trade package, it's a bit of a mortgage of their future for the Clippers, but I think this team would have such a chance to win if they could stay healthy that it may be worth the risk. Because look at it like this. If Kawhi and PG keep getting hurt, right, then you already mortgage your future anyway, right? If they don't get hurt and you didn't get Dame, they have a chance to win. But wouldn't you like to have a better chance by adding Dame to that mix of a healthy PG and Kawhi? I think you go with the latter option, because either way, if the guys get hurt, whether Dame is there or not, they're gonna be ass out regardless. It would be better to have Dame there, so even if they do get hurt, you may lose Kawhi, but you still got Dame and PG. You may lose PG, but you still got Dame and Kawhi. You see what I'm saying? And then the support and cast around them. So that's why I think, even though this is a lot in this trade package, I think they should still, if they can, pull the trigger on it. Also, I think this, out of all the 3 options, is probably the best option for Portland, because they're getting stuff back. They getting picks, they getting players, they getting vet players that can help in the locker room with their young guys. I think it works. But let me get into it. Marcus Morris, Norman Powell, Robert Covington, Kenyon Martin Jr., 3 firsts and 3 seconds for Damian Lillard, and maybe I think they might have to add like 1 smaller contract in there just to make it work. But so Marcus Morris, Norman Powell, Robert Covington, Kenyon Martin Jr., 3 firsts and 3 seconds for Dame and a small budget guy, like Dame and 1 other guy. I think that's worth it for the potential of what the team can do. Now, I think the Clippers would be the best case scenario for Dame and the best case scenario for Portland. to get stuff back, and then Dame gets to a team that he actually has a chance to win on. My personal favorite, obviously, is the Nets. I would love to see him in Brooklyn. That would just put us into another level. And then maybe in the next offseason, we could get another star to come play with us, because then we will have Dame, we will have Bridges, we will have Claxton. You throw another all-star level guy in there with Cam Thomas and Cam Johnson on top of that. That's a championship team. You see what I'm saying? You throw another all-star on top of what that would be as a whole. But the best case scenario for Dame and for Portland would be that Clippers team right there. Yes, the Clippers will be mortgaging their future, but like I said, if PG and Kawhi get hurt, regardless of who's there or not, you're going to be in a bad spot regardless, so you might as well try to get Dame. That's how I look at it. But let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. I didn't really get into the details of the trades. I just kind of did what I do on my league on 2K, and I just said, okay, so Dame's contract is this. Add this up. Okay, you probably will have to use this contract and this contract. And then I threw in picks to make it look better for Portland, like something that Portland would actually agree to. But let me know in the comments down below what you think of the packages I offered, what you think of the teams that Dame could potentially go to. Give me another team besides Miami that you think would be good for Dame to be traded to, that would also kind of benefit Portland. And as far as the trade package thing, it don't even got to benefit Portland. Just give me a team that Dame would look good on, that you think he'll look good on. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, make sure you ding that notification bell so you know every time I drop a video. And most of all, YouTube, I love you guys. Peace out.
It's the 3 on PLAXtv.
Yeah, I think that might work.